Hey there, it's Juju, and it's day 413 of this administration. And today I'm going to talk about the prison industrial complex, which we spend $182 billion on in this country, incarcerating people. We have the highest rate of incarceration of any other country, and it is big business. So I spent 5.5 hours yesterday in CCWF in Chowchilla, a women's facility. It was the first time I'd been in a women's prison, and I went in with Empathy Action, a restorative justice program. And I had a lot of assumptions about what the women were going to be like. And just like I had a lot of assumptions about what the men were going to be like when I first started going into prison 3 years ago, once again, my expectations were completely wrong. Um, the people that are in prison have made, and especially for the serious crimes that many of these people have committed, but that is something they did in that moment. That is not who they are. And yes, society needs to be safe, but punishing and putting people in horrific conditions and not focusing on rehabilitation, and the transformation that can happen. People in prison want change. Many people, not everybody, not everyone in prison is interested in programming, but for the ones that are, it should be available. And it can be really hard for people to get programming. I heard like the odds from and the lived experience of the women in prison of trying to get into programming. Yes, some of them are going to college and getting their degrees, but they welcomed this with open arms to have outsiders come, because until you've been inside the prison and met some of these people, you are functioning with things that you've heard on TV or seen in movies, and the reality can be so much different. And just remember, this is big business, and our current immigration our what's the word I want to use for it, approach is really adding to the prison industrial complex, because the big beautiful bill, there's billions of dollars that's going to be spent on detention center, and two companies in particular have made money off of these new detention centers. And as with so much that happens in this country, it's big business for billionaires, and the rest of us suffer. And so there's so many changes that I want to see in terms of our priority. If the money that we spent on incarcerating people and bombing and killing people in war was spent here at this country with education and, drug therapy and mental health and giving people a place to live, then we wouldn't have the crime and the horrific things that happen. So really just kind of remember, prisons, jails, they're big business, and people are making money off of them. So this is Juju, unfiltered, unscripted, unedited. Lead with love.